Hello people, it's me, Libluini, and we're back here with German holograms, trying to become goddess of TNN, elf nation of elves. It's time for more Dominion 6. It's now late winter in the year 2 of the Ascension Wars. Everything is kind of frozen, and we're about 36 turns in if I translate the system correctly. And we are still at war with the heretical giant nation of Mekone, and we have lots of messages. First, from our enemies, just some guy. He is crowned with wisdom. And God, another pretender god, he has claimed the mirror throne. Lots of claiming going on. We'll see if we can do something about this. Ache has found multiple magic sites now. Oh, that's the power of End of the Rainbow. Abizia has Agaros the Warlord and made him a new prophet. Abizia is, I think, AI now? Should look. So, and then we have 4 mounts without riders have made their way back home. And I guess most of those would be the Pegasi who lost their Amazon riders. Useful to get them back at half coast. So that would only help us if also the recruitment points are halved. Otherwise it's still just 1 horse per month. Then another crippled unit dies marching around into the Dragon Scale Mountains. Man, we're just lucky that this doesn't happen to our crippled commanders, since we have one of those too. Then Dead Forest has been retaken, which is no wonder since Mekone had a fortress there and we abandoned the siege. Then an unexpected event in the Dragon Scale Mountains. Turmoil +1, more unrest. Some unnecessary laws have been abolished. Well, good for the people, not good for us, the player. So, wait. Oh yes, more turmoil also means more random events, and since we have luck scales, that's actually good for us. Then Embracer. The carcass of a true dragon has been found. Wow, that's the second time this happened. We got a bunch of fire gems and 2 more red dragon scales. It's funny. We have just one guy who could forge those for us, but we keep getting them gifted for free. The power of the luck scale. Then in Belmar we got Dirk the Alchemist who joins us. Survivors and cargo have been salvaged from a shipwreck at the coast. The ship carried an old mage with peculiar skills. So we got a new mage and another bunch of gems and fire in a jar, which is basically a magic item that gives you a fire gem for free, but only in battle. Also refreshes itself constantly, so you will always have a free fire gem in battle whenever your mage carries this thing. That's it, no more battles this time, so let's start from the top. By which I mean yes, we had this for a good long while now. Level 3, yes. I'm not sure we could find anything there. Let's take a closer look. Here. The Crystal Garden gives 1 Earth Gem and 1 Glamour Gem. I think in Dominions 5 it instead would have given you Astral Gems. And the Crystal Garden yet again. We got 2 Crystal Gardens at once. Well, I can't complain since it's a sizable upgrade to our Glamour Gem income. We need not so much, but in case I have some elf mages to forge stuff, it's nice to have, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, there were two of those. And apparently they were hard enough to find. Level 2 in Glamour Magic wasn't enough. But 9? Uncovered them. Huh. Did upgrade our gem income for a bit. So. Our income, our treasury is near bankrupt. We get 2,000 pounds of gold each turn, but nearly 1,000 are immediately lost due to our upkeep costs. Let's start here. Recruitment. 3 partial units available for half costs. Is this true? 60 gold, 9 resources, 46. Yeah, they cost half of this. And we don't have enough. We need more troops, not mages right now. So let's, yes, okay, for a while we can do double recruitment thanks to half costs. Next turn we can recruit 2 horses again, and then we're back to full costs. Nice, didn't know the recruitment points would also be halved for our new horse recruitments. Good to know. In the capital we'll keep on shielding, and now can get out of our, whoops, almost all. I guess I have to redo something else. Kretra. Yeah, we don't need new troops here right now. We concentrate on getting those here. And some slingers. And reprinting. So we are back to maximum sacreds, and let's move it. We have those two. Oh, gem. Possibly useful if you have a guard yourself, just in case. And you know what? Since it's useful to have, you get one of our new dragon scale males to get some more protection and fire resistance. In addition to her cold and poison resistance, she now has fire resistance 15. That is good for one fireball or another. Then I guess one of our other guys would need it the most. Well, our horses on that, love the long-handed is good. And of course we have one of our super mages, Kimber Penton. Okay, she will get the... Oh, sneaking back to Quedra? Nah, we can use a new mage. I have reconsidered, because, well, the army retreated from here. But, since they're giants, it seems they skipped across the plains rivers directly into Dead Forest. Which I guess is not that bad a decision. He couldn't know that I was trying to combine my forces here. Possibly he just thought I wouldn't expect him to skip over one province to smash me at that forest. But noops, we retreated, and so now he's sitting there giving us another turn to do things. Do things we will. Since he's probably advancing next turn, and since another army is slowly growing here, we'll combine forces and sending all those troops and mages. Do we forgot something? Someone standing around? Oh yes, a single slinger. You can come with us. Then we combine all those troops here into one force. Approximately 100 units here. And approximately 100 here, and tons of mages, some of them fairly strong. That's approximately 100 and some strong mages. But they are giants, so 200 and lots of mages against 100 giants, and some mages should be about equal. Now we have, of course, our weird kappas standing around collecting survivors. In this case, a surviving kappa. Okay, you can go back here. Oh, some more survivors. Useful, useful. You can go here. And since you saved a kappa, you can go to the kappa recruitment zone. Yes, here are only some units here. And some more next turn. So there still kappas on the move to collect survivors, since kappas are the one thing I don't really need. And then Quadra has some troops here, but nothing really to use them. Well, I guess I'll use this to collect survivors here. I'm guessing I put a Fearborg champion here to command some of the reserves I'm collecting here. Next up is Kuna Eral. Let's see, what could we... Ah yes, we need a temple, otherwise we can only commit to recruiting Bao Banshees, but we're already below 200, so let's instead raise some scouts where we have this. And then add some of those. And some more slingers. A little new units here. And then we are combining our forces here and hope that he tries to lay siege on Kuna Eral again and stays away from our fertile lands up in the north. I mean, it's the absolute anti-elfdom here with just plains. The Dragon-scale mountains are, I think, the only deviation. Also, we had the message that we got some unit in our coastal regions. Let's go to our messages. Ah yes, it was, no, Belmar. Belmar was, oh, up here. And we got, Dirk. Well, he has different paths. Fire. Would be useful to have. Earth and fire. So I guess I can put him to auto search. And see if he can find something. So in 2 turns we are already back. Next turn it's 7, then 9. So we then have another force ready. I guess I wait until I hit 10. Would be in, let's see, 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, in 3 turns. Then we have 10 of those and 15 of those. Yes, 16. 3 times 2. And here it's 6, 12, 18 more sacreds and 6 more slingers. Yeah, that should be plenty. Then is another army ready for us. Also, 1 Ryu as commander for commanding and 4 She-Lords as additional battle group should be enough, but I think then Pizzas has to actually step forward and help casting the true glamour magic in battle, which means I guess as soon as this army is ready I'll have to recruit another sorceress just in case I want to summon something or forge something high level, which funny enough I think it's all my better mages being down below here will be the better choice in the end, because for forest, I need forests. What is our research doing? Well, It's kind of low at the moment since so many of my mages are walking around. Still 167 and about approximately 320, 333. Wow, okay. 3 turns, then we have evocation 5. And then we are overdrawing and putting more into forward to conjuration 5. And yes, the game counts oddly. To get to level 4, 400. To get to level 5, 700. And then let's see what level 16 costs. 1000? 1200? Or is it just twice again? No idea. Exactly why I'm doing this. Level 5 has the Illusory Army, a level 3 glamour spell that just puts 20 plus units onto the ground. All of them, of course, fake, and those fake warriors are only there for one battle, but it's over 20. Our level 4 sorceresses can put 21 down, and even our level 3 dudes can put 20 of those here. And numbers are telling, and they of course do false damage, which why it can be negated by killing all the mages. It's also magic damage, so it can even hurt people who are protected against magic, which to be fair isn't the giants. The giants are just fucking bizarrely hardened with their super armor. In a way it's kind of silly. Our units have no trouble hitting the giants, but then have trouble doing enough damage to matter, thanks to their high protection. And the giants could kill any unit of ours with one hit, but only very, very rarely manage a hit thanks to our insanity. And since they only have sacred mages and no bless component that would help them, and no natural ability that's like dark vision or true sight, spirit sight I think, dark vision doesn't help that much from memory. Well, they can't do anything about blur and other magic bullcrap we have. And thanks to him marching to the southwest here to free his fort, this means I get a free chance to combine all of my armies into one here, and then we are strong enough to fend him off. Nice of him. So recruitment is done, movements are done, magic reorganization is done. Kind of nice. We've taken a large chunk out of Mekone. He lost several battles, one of them major already. And if we crack this new army here, I then can send a force down here and just lay siege to that forest. I'll probably send reinforcements from the north down by then and roll up more provinces while we are sitting on that forest. After all, there is yet another army, and if he sends that one out, we'll hopefully crush it too. We just have a limited amount of time, because he's, I'm assuming, rushing evocation right now to get better fire spells. Because there are some nice evocation spells he could use against us if he had them right now. And he's already up to Flare, which does a lot of damage, but has some drawbacks. Flare. I've seen this. Fire, fire, fireball, fire cloud. Flare is... Oh wait, I could just filter. Ha. Flare is level 2, needs level 3 fire mage. And it has fatigue cost of 50. So a level 3 mage can cast it only 2 times before taking a nap. Fire damage is at 22 and armor piercing, so it's fairly dangerous, even for heavily armored units. It's just funny that more of my commanders are getting enough fire resistance to survive a full hit of a flare. And area of effect, which means, well, 1 isn't that much, but it's more than 1. It does mean that if too many units and commanders are in a square, they get all hit. They all get hit. Them's the breaks, and 45 plus range is a lot. So his mages won't have any problems hitting us. And it leaves a lingering cloud level 3, which is also new. Level 3 means, yeah, there are now different strengths of clouds, and this lingering cloud will give heat damage for additional fatigue in other words. And level 3 means it will stay some turns around instead of going away. It's a nice spell to have, but it's also not really easy to use if your strongest mage is only level 3. Falling Fires, 2 levels up, is a better version. The damage is a bit lower, but it has less than half the fatigue cost, and it has a fairly large area of effect and an even higher range. And the damage is still armor piercing, and there is still a lingering cloud giving heat damage, just a weaker one. So it's in most cases a far better spell, and we really don't want to get too into a pissing contest with an army with too many of his mages. I guess we are lucky that he sent 5 of his mages up to Quadra to die with the besieging force. But to tally everything up, we destroyed a small squadron of giants, then before that another squadron of giants, together with an archward force including stuff like some mages and some elephants. We managed to kill a mage that was alone and unsupported. Then last time his big stack besieging Quadra, and while his mages survived, since there was not a single friendly province around, I'm guessing I'm 99% sure they all died in retreating. So he is down some mages, which to be fair puts us about even, since I also had this habit of sending my Shelots in to stab people a lot. Something I now don't need to do anymore, since I now have magic unlocked. Speaking of which, anything else to show off? Conjuration, yes. We can unlock a lot of spells, summoning things. If we ever see all of this glamour. Project Self, that's also a nice spell. It works for exactly 1 turn, but the mage can basically send a projection of themselves, and for one turn they can do shit. For example, they can just project. For example, if I had the requisite astral path, I could send gem and the holograms into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, here into Falgoth. Have a cast summon a bunch of illusory armies, and if the defense is low enough, the province would be taken by us. And because it's just a projection, nothing happens to my pretender. Sadly though, Project Self needs Astral, which none of our glamour mages have. We would have to spend a lot of Astral Pals, as this gem type is called, to teach our mage this, which is something I probably do in the future with one of our sorceresses, because this is actually a nice way to change shit, because Illusory Army is cheap as shit, while there are later spells like Illusory Attack, which do the same thing, just, with magic instead of chaining weird spells together. Well, just to read here, the mage projects an illusionary army at a province far away. The mage is able to guide the army into killing any enemies located there. The illusionary army will dissolve once the attack has been completed, or if there are no enemies in the targeted province. And it's several levels up and costs 8. Compare this to Project Self and the projection using gems. Well, can be the same cost, but let's look. Ethereal replica of the castle with the same magical skills as the castle. Items are not projected, but any path boosting magic items will still have effect. Useful to know. Yeah, that's a good point. I have no. The description says nothing about gems. I guess we have to experiment, because if the gems are replicated, this would basically mean we could use Project Self to mimic illusory attack, but for less gems. If you have a magic caster with tons of glamour gems, send them over to chain cast illusory army, and then we just used 5 gems instead of 8. But first we need enough Astra parts, or we need to be lucky and get a strong glamour mage who has astral magic. Wailing Winds is a spell that needs a combo of glamour magic and air. Earlier in the last game it was a combination of air and death, and bird nations like Kalon with their angel-like flying people would use them because they had the paths, but now they don't have glamour anymore, so Wailing Winds are gone from them, and instead it's now a glamour spell, because there was some changes. Instead of causing people to roll a molar check to see if they run away or not, it now targets them with fear, which in this case means if they lose a roll against their moral check again, instead of running away, they just, I think, get their moral lowered by 1. Maximum minus 10. In other words, while the spell itself doesn't sound too great, if you chain cast him by multiple times, then you eventually can get the enemy unit's morale to drop very, very far. And then there is Shimmering Fields, which once upon a time was a lightning spell doing lots of lightning damage. Now instead it is another case of dreaming your enemies to death. Difference is the damage has been lowered from the old version. Damage is still armor negating, it's false damage, and magic resistance can negate it completely since it's just magic bullshit. And also new, you get some kind of dream cloud at that point. Area of effect is again Titanic, 50. Range is about medium, I would say, for such a spell. And it's friendly fire, so you can destroy your own army with it. Still nice to have. And then since it oh yeah, of course, the fatigue cost is a bit higher than with the other combat spells. And it needs level 5 to be cast. Or, to be more precise, level 6. Otherwise your mage will not be able to cast anything for a long while. Looking at those numbers, if you overcast this the spell with level 6 and let the mage take 4 instead of 7 gems, you can drop the fatigue down to about 50, I think. But that's about it. So our pretender could use this more than once. Our other mages are not good enough. And then Aurora Borealis, another combo, level 5 Glamour and level 1 Astral. All enemies on the battlefield must roll against magic resistance or get stunned. Stunned just means they can't do anything for that turn. If cast during twilight, the roll is an easy check. Oh, yes, because an Aurora is only visible at night, I guess. Mindless units are not affected by the spell. Requires the absence of a sun. Well, that's a strange spell, so you can only use this if there is no sun. It can't be cast underwater, and it is really weak during twilight. No, that's odd. And it just stuns people for a turn. Huh. I have no idea how to use this. Then the Celestial Rainbow. I think that also had different, I think it was something like air maybe? Oh, it's too long ago. But now it's glamour magic. This ritual creates a rainbow large enough to be seen from everywhere in the world. The mage can direct where he wants the rainbow to appear, and by doing this, huge amounts of gold can easily be collected at the base of the rainbow. While the rainbow is in place, luck will increase in all the caster's provinces. Once the luck is positive in a province, the luck of the rainbow will protect it from hostile spells. Oh wow, we're already up to 3 different things the rainbow can do. The more luck in a province, the greater chance of hostile spells failing. Oh, at least it's not 100% protection, or it would probably be a bit much. Also needs 80 gems to be cast, so it's not exactly something we can use every time. And it needs level 7 and level 5 in water. Can our pretender cast this? Would be nice to have. And I think the very first time I can do it. Oh, level 3, it's a bit. But we can put a booster on her. A helmet. Then there are boosters she can take in her hand. 4 and 5. Maybe an armor 6. Oh, 5 is already enough. Whoops. Okay, we can easily forge boosters to get here to 7.5. So we can cast this global. And we are already above 80. So that will probably won't take long. Now I'm wondering, is there any spells for giving us gems? Well, none of those spells look like they can do anything that much. Thaumaturgy? Oh, we found it. The Gates of Horn and Ivory. Level 5 glamour spell. We can cast this. And this is a global enchantment centered on a single province. That's another change from Dominions 5, where all globals always are centered around the caster. This seems to be different and costs 60 at minimum. The caster erects 2 gates to the dream world. Through the first comes fulfillment and true dreams that tell of the future. From the other comes dreams of deception or despair. Guys, could you not just leave one gate, the good one, and just spare us the second? No? Well, that's magic for you. Rituals cast at the Gates of Horn and Ivory will have their reach extended greatly. Oh, so that's the second thing it does, despite giving us gems. Also, a huge amount of glamour gems can be harvested from the gate each month. So what do we get? We generate 15 additional glamour gems each month. Thank you. And the range for glamour sky rituals only is extended by +3. Since this includes spells like Project Self, that's useful to have. But it's also level 7 in Thaumaturgy, or it will take a while to get that far. Celestial Rainbow is very far down below, and it's a level 9 spell which has some special things. As Thaumaturgy is something useful down here, where Geast only is nice because it makes enemies attack themselves, but it's also targeting only one person. That was an all death spell, that's now a glamour spell with death. Group luck. It's a bit more useful, but 3+ is also not that much. We are a bit unlucky. Most of the spells we want are in other parts of the tree. Let's see, what do we take on as next? Next. Shadow Warriors. Tatting units have their skill reduced by 2. But as soon as we fight people with True Sight or Spirit Sight, this gets risky. And if we in the far future start fighting, say, Vanheim, this is not very useful, I think. Mirage. Which creates a illusory oh yes, we had this in an early episode. It creates a fake castle that will disappear when people actually try to take it. The Immaculate Fortress. With the help of glamour, a fortification and everything in it is made perfect. At least that is how it seems. The air is cleaner, the food tastes better, the streets are always clean, and all the buildings are in better shape than when they were just built. The fortification also looks perfectly fine, no matter how much damage it sustains. This makes it very difficult to figure out how to breach the walls, but when they are finally breached, the opening will be seen. So, this spell reduces unrest. Nice. The wall breakdown resistance is 50%, which I guess means that the damage to the wall is reduced by 50%, otherwise I have no idea what this would mean. Walls are magic and ethereal units cannot pass through. Yeah, that's useful, because in a normal fortress, if the walls are broken down, ethereal units can afterwards just beam themselves through the walls and don't have to fight through the breach like normal units. But if you use this spell, they can't. Useful to remember if you fight someone with lots of ethereal units. Otherwise, not very useful, just for the damage reduction. Maybe, just if you need some additional time to prepare. Eternal Twilight is a global enchantment that gives +1 magic scale, and all battles have Twilight effects, so we don't have to cast it anymore. The ends that are hostile or outside Dominion get minus 10% income and minus 20% resources. This also means that other players may decide that it's now time to attack you. Hostile units risk getting tricked and die. Moral plus MR check. This risk is lower in densely populated provinces. So not only is this giving us Twilight, which powers up all of our mages, it gives all provinces everywhere +1 magic on the magic scale, which is, well, it can be good, except if you are depending on drain scales for some reason. There are some nations who don't like magic. What we really mean is, of course, that everyone except us then loses a bunch of gold and resources. And on top of this, all units not us will start rolling for getting tricked. And if they're unlucky, they die. And it's a global enchantment. It's fairly expensive. Eternal Twilight is also level 8, so nothing special to do here. If we get that far, we can't put it up. No idea if we can get this. Nightfall. Changes Twilight into darkness. Well, that's of course not nice, especially if the other side doesn't have dark vision. It's basically like a battlefield-wide debuff if the enemy can't see in the dark. Of course, since it needs Twilight, sorry, this also means it's not that useful, I think. If the battlefield doesn't start in Twilight, you have to first cast Twilight, then Nightfall. But this would also depower all your glamour mages. Can be useful if you only have 1 or 2 glamour mages, because then Twilight and Nightfall could be used to debuff the enemy. Attacking units have Shadow Warriors. Area of effect is 20+. Large group of soldiers becomes blurred. Oh, no, that's useful, because while it needs now level 3 and GEMS, unlike group blur, Shadow Warriors also has a far higher fatigue cost, but since it extends to a large group, it's probably a lot more useful to have. I'll get to it. Oh, wait, I already have it in my list. Oh, okay. Construction is it here? 5/5 or 5? Well, we still have a lot of levels to chew through. let's leave it at that. Maybe we need some emergency stuff later on. Oh, and then we are already done, I think. We are combining all of our units here. And next turn I can also just switch this army to research. And then this army should stand on Kuna Eral and try to besiege us. Too bad we can't upgrade it, but it would cost money we don't have right now. I need a more peaceful turn where the enemy can't do much. Otherwise I will have to keep recruiting troops and then mages. Let's see. I think that we can possibly get one of our She-Lords, since the game sought 4, not 3. But it seems it could be that one of our She-Lords here. Nope. No idea where the province is with the 4th one. Since the game outright tells us, I suppose... Oh, I forgot. Those both are recruited in one turn. I forgot that I already had recruited one. So yes, we had 4, then 2, then again 2. Yeah, it's whoops. I am the dumbest. Yeah, it seems I was just bad at math. Well, I would like to have a stronger force here, but I can't really justify the costs now. Likewise here, sorry, no Shark Knights for us. Also, these guys are just stuck now. Funny enough, this army could just march backwards. Exceptionally powerful. And here, not much. Since the province belongs to us now. Well, nope. Let's do it this way. Just in case I miscalculate. So we keep having a spy commander here, since I don't know exactly how a province without any commanders in would interact with the scouting system. So let's do this here. Of course he could just walk back, but why would he? And if we take that province, then reduce his gamma income a bit, and we can then move back into the water. Always useful. We have of course no idea what is up here. Well, let's take a look. Let's do some synergy, because if the defense up here is low enough, I can just walk upwards and then hide in the water. This army is then ready. Next turn, then we switch all those measures to research, and the turn after that we have level 5 evocation unlocked and can spam fake armies in battle. Then those guys are just toast then. And in 2 turns they are either back here besieging us, or I have no idea. He is playing rather defensively now that we inflicted a major loss on him. But, well, nothing to see here. We have to wait and see what he does next turn. We just soon have another tool ready to bash his stupid giant's heads in. And maybe we can trick him into not defending, because if he thinks that I'm immediately running back, I may get another province and he has to retake it. And meanwhile we'll just keep recruiting kappas for our stealth water attacks. And that's it for this turn. Wait, I keep forgetting to look what my scouts are doing. There is Kalom again. It's showing up in our viewfinder. So let's get a bit closer. It's a bit risky. Maybe we just need a province close enough, but despite how odd this looks, it's just Well, we don't really need anything from Kerlum right now. And if we get through... Yeah, maybe since they are boarding Muspelheim, we maybe can convince them to join on Muspelheim. Or on Valheim, since they seem to be bordering both. But right now I want to see what our friends in the water are doing, so I'm marching in this direction. This one has to stay here, this one has to stay here too, so I can see what the enemy is doing. Likewise. So let's see, Arco. Arco Cephal, oh, we found the capital. Then let's scout into this direction to remove a bit more of the blackness of the void. We should see Arco in all its glory next turn. Capital of the Golden Nation, and it's not exactly small either. Here's the medium size, and only if we win. Whoops, that's messages. N is for scouts. Nope, we have definitely everything. We need more scouts. The next scout I think I'll send southward to see what's happening there. And then if Mekone is slow enough, I'll recruit another scout and then send them off back to Komsav, because I want to see what Vanheim is doing. Well, that's it, truly now. Diploini out.